Good morning, dear children. I hope you all have completed your English notebooks by writing the question answer of the previous chapter, The Game of Chance, along with its exercises. Today, we are going to start with the poem Vocation. Children, have you seen different types of people doing different work, doing different job? What does it come to your mind while you see different people doing different work? Have you ever thought the feelings you might be experiencing? At times, you feel like suppose I were this, suppose I were that. The same feeling comes with the poet when he sees the gardener, when he sees the hawker and the people doing various jobs, and he feels that if I were a hawker or if I were a gardener, that I should do my work freely. Nobody is there or no boundness is there. Whatever, whenever I feel I can do my job. So let's enjoy the poem Vocation. So children, let's read and enjoy the poem Vocation, written by Rabindranath Tagore. Children, while going to school or market, you see many people at work. What you have noticed? What you have noticed? That many people doing different job, different work. While seeing them working, what question or what feelings comes in your mind? Let's read and enjoy the poem. When the gong sounds 10 in the morning and I walk to school by a lane, every day I meet the hawker crying, bangles, crystal bangles. There is nothing to hurry him on. There is no road he must take, no place he must go to, no time when he must come home. I wish I were a hawker, spending my day in the road, crying, bangles, crystal bangles. So, children, what does the poet see first? He sees a bangle seller. He sees a hawker who's selling bangles, crystal bangles. He is in no hurry to go here or there. There's no road he must take. He doesn't even know which road he has to go. He is simply engrossed in selling his bangles. He doesn't know where he will go, the place where he will go, or when he will return home. He is in his work of selling and crying bangles, crystal bangles. So the poet wishes, if I were a hawker, spending my day in the road, crying bangles, crystal bangles, so he wishes that he should be a bangle seller where he could roam freely here and there on the road, on the streets. When at 4 in the afternoon I came back from the school, I can see through the gate of that house the gardener digging the ground. He does what he likes with a spade. He soils his clothes with dust. Nobody takes him to task. If he gets baked in the sun or gets wet, I wish I were a gardener, digging away at the garden with nobody to stop me from digging. Now, children, while he is returning back from school at 4, what does the poet see? The poet sees through the gate of that house the gardener digging the ground, and he is busy with his spade working. His clothes get dirty with dust. Nobody cares for him. Nobody is worried about him if he even gets baked up in the sun or if his clothes get wet. No one is least bothered about him. Freely, enjoyingly, he is working in a garden. So the poet wishes that he should be a gardener, digging away at the garden with nobody to stop him from digging. He is working freely and with full concentration, and nobody is there to stop him or poke him from digging. Then, just as it gets dark in the evening and my mother sends me to bed, I can see through my open window the watchman walking up and down. The lane is dark and lonely, and the street lamp stands like a giant with one red eye in its head. The watchman swings his lantern and walks with a shadow at his side, and never once goes to bed in his life. I wish I were a watchman, walking the street all night, chasing the shadows with my lantern. So, children, when it gets dark and the poet is about to sleep, from his open window he sees the watchman walking up and down, and he sees that the street is dark and lonely, but the street lamp stands like a giant with one red eye in its head. The street lamps are there and the shadows on the head. The watchman is there with his lantern, swinging and walking, and as he walks, his shadow is falling at his side, and never once he goes to bed in his life. The whole night the watchman is there on the street with his lantern. Then the poet wishes, I wish I were a watchman, walking the street all night, following the shadows with his lantern. So he wishes that he should be a watchman so that the whole night he could walk freely, happily, chasing the shadows with his lantern. So this is what the poet Rabindranath Tagore wants for. First, he wishes that he should be a Bengal sailor, moving freely and crying and selling the crystal bangles. Secondly, he wishes he should be a gardener. Nobody is there to say anything. He is freely digging the ground and working hard. Then lastly, he wishes he should be a watchman, walking freely all night with his lantern and chasing the shadows with his lantern. So this is what the poet Rabindranath wants for. He longs for that. He wants to live a free and happy life. I hope, children, you have understood the deep meaning of this poem behind that you should also live a life happily, freely, but do the work with full affection, dedication. Whatever work is given to you, You should work hard and enjoy each and every moment of your life. I hope you have understood the poem. Go through the poem and again enjoy the beauty of the words used and also the beauty of the poem, which is written by Rabindranath Tagore, a famous Bengali poet of our country. That's all for today. Thank you. Have a good day.